welcome to the pre-match show of the much-awaited and extremely hyped-up pot boiler of this Asia Cup, the India versus Pakistan clash. And I'm your host Damini Basu. Will take this opportunity to welcome my guest for today's show, Boria Mojumdar. You all are very much aware with who he is, Shamrat Roy and Rohan Chaudhary. Thank you so much for joining. Boria, we'll begin straight away with you. Just India versus Pakistan, this cricket clash. What does this intrigue you?
Yeah, this is the world's most hyped up sporting rivalry, and it's because, like we discussed yesterday, about fandom. I mean, if I take a look at global sporting rivalries, football, be it Man U, Man City, Real versus Barcelona, England, Germany, England, Argentina. If you take individual rivalries, Novak versus Roger, Rafael Nadal versus Roger Federer. If you take sport, India, Pakistan will rank at the very top. Because, you know, it's incredible what this rivalry does to you. And I've sort of been to many World Cups and I've seen what the players go through. For example, 2003 World Cup, one of my favorites, Sachin's friends told him 1 year back, whatever happens doesn't matter, win that one. You know, that particular match, 273 Pakistan, Sachin had a bowl of vanilla ice cream and bananas, that's all he had. And after the match, Indians partied till midnight. And thereafter went out to a street side Chinese restaurant in Salanada to eat. Because it's always special. Because this match, I mean, look, even today, when you talk about the 92 World Cup, people say Pakistan won, but hey, humne to Pakistan won. So there is always that juice that this rivalry has.
So carrying on from here, Shamrat, you know, as Boria just stated that 1992, we all know that Pakistan won the World Cup, but the India-Pakistan clash, everybody says, World Cup बेशक जीत जाओ लेकिन पाकिस्तान से नहीं हारना. That is so. How much do you feel, you know, this pressure and this hype around this clash as fans? How much does this attract you? How much does this intrigue you?
Remembering my childhood, when I start watching cricket. So when I was like 7 years old, so I started. It was Cricket World Cup, T20 World Cup, the first initial T20 World Cup. It was an India versus Pakistan match. I didn't know very much about cricket that time because I was 7 years old. So at that time, from that time onwards, so cricket plays a very special role in my heart. It has a like different thing in my heart. So from that time onwards, 2007 World Cup, 2011 World Cup, 2015 World Cup, 2019 World Cup, and 2021 World Cup that we lost previous year. So India vs Pakistan is like a derby in international cricket or something like that. So that is the thing. Yeah.
Rohan, I'll come to you. India versus Pakistan. Your favorites from both the teams. Any particular player you are, you know, extremely interested to watch?
Damini, I was looking forward to Shaheen Afridi because I'm a very big fan of left-arm pacer. So I have always been a fan of Zahir Khan, Irfan Pathan. And I was looking forward to Shaheen Afridi, but unfortunately he won't be playing, so that's one point. And from our side, I would want Virat Kohli and Rohit Sharma to come back to form.
So Damini, who's your tufan? He's just had his good boy. So who's your tufan for this particular match?
You know, as a team, I have to be blatantly honest here. I am still bruised by that last year's defeat which India had to Pakistan. I will be blatantly honest. But as from the perspective of a sports fan, I think this defeat was required for India and this win was required for Pakistan. Why? Because this jolt that Team India has got, we all know the potential that Team India possesses. It will encourage them to, you know, push for the harder and always, you know, make sure they're not repeating their mistakes. As for Pakistan, yes, they got that breakthrough and it will just encourage them to get back to their form. And for me, you know, it's very tough to pick because I'm still waiting for Virat Kohli and Rohit Sharma to get back their form. Rohit Sharma's century is what still is, you know, my star innings from the 2019 World Cup. So I can't particularly pick any particular player. Boria, I'll come to you. You know, as he picked up the topic of Shaheen Afridi, his not being a part of Pakistan is a massive jolt for them. So if you could talk us through your thought process, how much will it, you know, impact Pakistan as a bowling unit, and do you feel that, you know, somewhere India have a slight advantage?
I agree. I actually agree with this particular assessment. I was there in the Dubai International Stadium commentating for the International Cricket Council last year when this particular match happened. And Clive Lloyd, myself and Zaid Abbas, who subsequently wasn't well, we were commentating together. And Shaheen Afridi's spell, Rohit, KL, and all of a sudden we were like, what on earth is going on? I mean, it was a huge build-up, and we hadn't, and I remember I was calling, and I was calling not wanting to call. So to answer your question, if I put Bumrah on one side and Shaheen on the other, I think Pakistan loses more. I've tweeted this also. I somehow feel Shaheen Afridi not being there dents Pakistan more than Jasprit Bumrah not being there for India.
Okay.
So to answer the question, yes, India starts favourites according to me because Shaheen Afridi will not have a go at the Indian top.
Definitely. And to just continue from this question, if we answered it from Pakistan's point of view, how about you giving us, Shomrat, your point of view from, with regard to Team India, because from Team India, our pace bowler, our star bowler, Jasprit Bumrah is missing out. So is Team India, somewhere at a disadvantage according to you?
No, I don't think that India is in under threat or something like that, because India has some good bowling lineup like Arshdeep Singh coming in, and he's a very good bowling because he have a good records in IPL this year. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to that guy. So I'm vouching for that guy that he will go for big in that World Cup. And I'm also looking forward to Bhuvneshwar Kumar because Bhuvneshwar Kumar has good records versus Pakistan and all. So this is my point of view. I don't think that India has some threats or something like that.
Talking about Arshdeep Singh, he in the IPL he had such a good outing, and then with Team India we have seen that somehow they struggle to play left-arm pacers, and others are not facing that much of a problem, boasting of some very world-class left-arm pacers. So to bring in somebody like a Arshdeep Singh, Rohan, I want you to tell us how would you like to see Team India use him. And do you feel he will be effective against Pakistan if he's playing that clash?
Well, Damini, I'm always a big fan of young players,
Okay.
So a big player getting out and brings in a young player, and if he can actually show his talent, he's in for the team. So I think this was the case with Saurav Ganguly also.
Definitely.
So he actually got one chance and he delivered. So I'm looking forward to Arshdeep Singh, because if he can deliver, he's in for the team for the next trip also.
Boryaga, India's top order, India are a world-class side, there's no doubt about it, but in crunch situations, be it the 2019 World Cup, or let's go back a bit further, 2017 Champions Trophy, the 2019 semi-final, and of course the last year the clash against Pakistan. Team India's top order has been faltering a lot, the top three primarily. And would you say that the top three from Team India are making themselves extremely vulnerable for the oppositions to easily read them? That's why oppositions are bringing that bowler whom they're extremely sure will rattle Team India right from the word go.
See, there is no debate that in World Cups and in ICC tournaments, we have not been able to fire in crunch games.
Absolutely.
Having said that, to make the semi-final in 2019, topping the pool, you were brilliant. Rohit 500, scale brilliant against in that match against Pakistan, coming in Birmingham 16 June, and thereafter in that match in Leeds where he got that 100. And Virat also had a reasonably good tournament. So India's top order, because the expectations are so high from them, they've delivered at multiple levels. Every match that they fail, we are like, what's happening.
Yeah.
Having said that, if this generation, the Virat Rohit generation, the World Cup that Virat won, 2011, the World Cup that Rohit won, 2007, they weren't the stars. 2011, it was MS, Yuvraj, Gautam, of course Sachin 492, they were the stars, not Virat. So this generation, the Rohit Kohli generation, needs to win a World Cup. Make no mistake.
Definitely.
And I'll tell you, Rohit, after that World Cup of 2019, 500 best batsman, we met in Bangalore where he was doing rehab. And I absolutely remember, so he was juggling a ball like this. It was one of my shows. And he said, I went home and people were saying, 500 मारा है तुमने 500. And मैंने सोचा यार 500 का क्या value है? Trophy तो उधर है. That is Rohit Sharma's mindset.
Yes.
If you remember on backstage with Boria, that comment that I also want my team to be ready for 10 for 3. Because it will happen.
Yeah.
A 10 for 3 will happen. Can India pull it off? While we are talking about the top order, what about Surya? What about Rishabh? What about Hardik? According to me, the most important player in this team is Hardik Pandya.
Absolutely.
So that's it. I mean, the one player who was missing last World Cup, who's now there, is Hardik
Pandya. It was unfortunate for Hardik Pandya to miss out on last year's World Cup, because as you really, it's a good thing you picked up the Hardik Pandya topic, because he was phenomenal against England, especially in the last ODI. My goodness, there was nobody to stop him. Shomrat, let's get to Pakistan. Let's get you talking about Pakistan. A recent talking between Ravi Shastri and Wasim Akram. Wasim Akram was asked about his thoughts about Pakistan's batting lineup, where he said that yes, he's very happy with Pakistan's opening slots, which we also got to see. Babar Azam and Mohammad Rizwan, unbelievable. But a very important thing that he stated was, if those two are somehow not clicking someday, it's the middle order who's extremely wobbly. How do you see India should make good advantage? How would you like to see Team India making good use of this situation? Because I'll tell you, because since unfortunately India could not bag any wickets last year, so this probably might be playing back at the back of the
So the main thing would be like wickets in the initial overs. So after that we can click them and put them in the back foot. So after doing that thing, India will gain some confidence over there on that point of time. So problem with India is like India has some good batting depth in their team. Like India has like Rishabh Pant, India has like Deepak Huda comes in who smashes 100 in the last match in Ireland. So we are keen eyes on some young talents over Indian side. So keep looking over to the Pakistan. So Pakistan doesn't have any depth in their batting. After Babar Azam and Mohammad Rizwan going off, they don't have any options. They have, but the options they have, they are not playing well. They don't have any good such records over the years. So the clicking batsman is Babar Azam and Mohammad Rizwan. So after that I don't think that India will capitalize that moment.
Rohan, the IPL is a big issue and a massive festival, the word I would like to use, cricket festival. Arshdeep Singh was a massive talk from the IPL. So how about you telling us any particular player from the Indian squad you're looking forward to, who's come out fresh from the IPL, you are, apart from Arshdeep of course, please pardon me for that, you are looking forward to, would be very key for Team India and all its clashes?
I have two very favorites of mine. One is Hardik Pandya and one is Rishabh Pant. So they are not the young comers, but I'm looking forward to them playing. Yes, I don't want the top order to fail against Pakistan at least, but going down might be one or two match when I can see hard hits from Hardik Pandya and Rishabh Pant. I'm very looking forward to it.
Keep a note, even he is wanting that India, make sure that against Pakistan the top order doesn't falter. So are you trying to say that India can get away, faltering?
No. But at least one or two matches I want Hardik Pandya and Rishabh Pant to hit hard.
That's the kind of talent these two players have, and this just shows how important Hardik Pandya and Rishabh Pant are to the side. Boryada, I'll come to you. The last clash, India versus Pakistan, same stadium, Dubai International Stadium. We all know unfortunately what happened. How important, again after about close to 1 year, another India versus Pakistan clash will be taking place at the same stadium. So I'll ask you, winning the toss and opting to bowl first, would you say that, gave last year Pakistan the edge, and this year, given the pitch conditions, if any team is winning the toss, what would you recommend, which team should opt for what, which should give them the early edge?
When last year's World Cup we did see teams winning the toss and bowling and getting that advantage. It was twilight. 6 o'clock start in Dubai, early evening, not the best time to bat. Obviously it does give the side bowling first an early advantage. In terms of dew, yes, dew did also play a part, because when the team bowling second, at least the first few overs, the dew was setting in, and the moment that happened, batting became easier.
Yeah.
So clearly, toss was playing a part in last year's World Cup. Having said that, you don't control tosses, and tosses do not win cricket matches.
Definitely.
Performance does. So all of India will be hoping that whoever wins the toss, you're talking about Hardik and Rishabh, you've got to believe that this Indian side has the ability to beat Pakistan.
Definitely.
You've got to perform to potential, because this is one clash. Surya, you know, all of us are talking about Surya and skies this, skies that.
Yeah.
This is one game. Surya will want to do it, because if you remember last time, Surya had a stiff neck,
Yes.
as a result of which, and I remember talking to him soon after, and he was like shattered that I couldn't play that particular match. So all of India's stars, they will watch. Same for Pakistan. Because you become an overnight hero. You're all of a sudden trending on Twitter for days.
Yeah.
You're celebrated all over the world.
Yeah.
You become this big star. So to answer that question, toss, yes. But then if you think at the back of your mind about the toss, then it's a problem. Rohit Sharma being Rohit Sharma, fantastic captain, greatest respect for him.
Unbelievable.
Babar is doing well, but I don't think Rohit will bother too much about this.
Shamrat, you know, the IPL had taken place just before the World Cup, T20 World Cup, and there was this trend that we were saying that there weren't too many high-scoring games in Dubai. This clash or this entire Asia Cup, are you expecting high-scoring games?
Yeah, I like high scoring games. Like it's nice to have a high scoring game, because I keen to have watching the TVs and all, and sitting and putting the bed sheets and all that. And, so
I ball, I have to ball.
So that is
Bed sheet thing, chile fine down, I
not
The
like
nail
that.
biters.
Yeah, nail biters, and there's many things that keep in the front of the TVs.
You
and
can
all.
narrate to us.
Yeah.
Entertain our viewers, come on.
Because it has very much thing that we does when we watch cricket. I also jump also when I'm watching cricket.
So
and all.
superstitions.
Yeah, very much. I pray to God and all. Like one of my friends has said in the previous episode, and he prays to God. I also pray to God, like this match, please God, this match, don't fail the top order and all, please. And if the top order fails, please the other batsmen please can take the role for the another thing and all. So that is the thing.
See, this is what sport is.
It's
I want to add one to
Yeah.
this superstition story.
Yeah, please
So, the T20 World Cup final,
Okay.
2007. So, one batsman from Pakistan, I don't remember his name actually, he did 14 balls, 33 runs from 14 balls when he was run out by Ravi Uthappa. And I was sitting in this position in front of the TV, and believe me, till the last I was sitting like this.
So until Misbah-ul Haq made sure that he was getting caught
Exactly.
out to Srishant, he was sitting like
And
that.
my dad, my uncle, everyone was watching together.
Yeah.
I mean, didn't let anyone to get up from the seat. I mean, everyone was sitting till the last, like from that moment to the last.
That is some hilarious contest. So he has spoken about his superstitious belief. He has spoken. How about you narrating to us your superstitious belief? Any particular one for an India-Pakistan?
I'll actually tell you about some of the cricketers, because people love to hear these stories.
Yeah.
Take Anjali. Anjali, for example, each time Sachin batted,
Yeah.
she had a particular spot in her house in sync with, there was a Ganesh idol. And she felt that this would actually pass positive vibes to Sachin when he was batting.
Yeah.
And Anjali, except a couple of occasions, never went to see Sachin play.
Okay.
Because she would always sit in that particular spot at home and watch. Even the World Cup final, she didn't go. After India won, she went. And people jumped on top of her car and happy days, that famous story that Sachin's car was smashed and people danced. When MS was hitting that winning stroke, Sachin was actually not watching. He was in the ante room of the Wankhede, closing his eyes, and he didn't let Virendra Sehwag go out either. He said, वो तो 1 million times तेरे को देखने को मिल जाएगा. अभी कहीं नहीं जाना. पहले यहाँ रुक जाओ. पहले मैच जीतने दो फिर भाग जाना. NatWest final, 146 for 5. Nobody was allowed to even go to the washroom. So England had opened their champagnes and all, their dressing room was full. Obviously, after that match, all of the champagne was not Indian. But Sachin and people did not allow a single fellow to even go to the washroom. So there are huge number of superstitions. Tendulkar will tell you, that each time there's an India-Pakistan clash and he was supposed to bat, so he would just put his headphones on and sit and focus. He said if somebody came and said all the best, I'd get hugely angry. Like, don't tell me. He just didn't want to speak, and that was him. So even if the coach came and said, he just didn't want that. All he was like, leave me alone. So there are these incredible stories, but the best one is Wasim Akram. So Wasim Bhai says, somebody was, I don't remember the bowler, he said Inzamam and Wasim were battling. So Wasim Bhai says that, Inzamam said to Wasim Bhai that, Wasim, whatever happens you run, because Inzamam had to be on strike. So Wasim was told, boss, whatever happens, the bowler delivers. So Wasim was like, the moment the ball is done, I started running. Because I have to reach the other end, Inzi ne bol diya. So Wasim said, मैंने तो dive करके अंदर कर दिया, बैट की बोल दिया यार. मैं उठ के देख रहा हूँ मेरे पास इंजमाम ऐसे कैसे देख रहा है. So he was like, इंजमाम looks at Wasim, Wasim भाई आप यहाँ. I mean, and Wasim was like, yaar, what are you saying? So each player has these little things, but what is sport without superstition? Mohinder Ramanat's red, this thing. Steve Lowe's baggy green. All of these things, Novak Djokovic picking up the Wimbledon grass and eating.
Yeah.
Parts of folklore.
Jose Higuita, Colombian.
Of course, Rene Higuita, Colombian goalkeeper. You can keep rattling on and on. Our time is up, Damini, so you need to close the show.
It's so unfortunate that we are running out of time. Otherwise, India versus Pakistan is such a clash. We could just go on and on with stories and never run out of them. But we have, as they say, all good things come to an end. To all our viewers, you were watching and hearing Boria Mojumdar, Shomrat Roy and Rohan Chaudhary and myself, Damini Basu. This is the pre-match show of the India versus Pakistan clash. Do not forget to tune in to live action. Thank you so much for joining.